Today I'm making some sauerkraut, and I've already chopped up about 1 3/4 cups of cabbage that I'm putting in this bowl. And the bowl is plastic, much as I hate plastic, simply because the sauerkraut is a little bit different than some of the other ferments that I've made. You really have to get a little aggressive with it, and that means doing a little bit of pounding, and I'm just not taking that chance with my glass bowls. So when you're cutting the cabbage, you want to avoid the core, so you turn it while you're cutting it. And it's totally up to you how thick or thin you'd like it and what size pieces you'd like. I like mine a little on the thin side, and I like varied pieces. So some of them are long, some of them are short. Almost done here. And that's about another 1/4 cup. So that brings me up to about 2 cups of cabbage. Oh, I also put my onion in there already. And I've added a 1/4 cup of onion. There too, it's up to you if you'd like the onion or not. I am adding to that a teaspoon of salt. And now I am going to pound it. The reason that you have to pound this as hard as you do is because you need to break down the cell wall of the cabbage to get the whey into it and to allow the microbes to do their work. So I'm going to be pounding for a few minutes, so I'll be right back. So I pounded on this cabbage for about 5 minutes, and you saw how dry it was when it went in here. Now it's quite moist. The salt also helps to draw out the moisture. Now when doing ferments, it's always easiest to use a wide mouth jar. So I am going to put my cabbage, oh wait a minute, I've got a couple more things to add. I'm going to add caraway seeds. I've got a teaspoon of caraway seeds because I like them. You could also add mustard seed, or you can just have it plain. You don't even need the onion, as I said. Or you could add garlic if you like. It's all up to you, entirely up to your own personal taste. I just like the caraway seed. I like the mustard seed too. But look how pretty. Oh, you can't really see. You'll see it better in the jar. And I also have my whey. I have a tablespoon of whey that I'm going to add. And give it a mix. And again, if you don't know what whey is, this is whey. It comes from yogurt, and I've got a video on it called What's Whey. Now it's going into the jar. Now I could have poured the whey in on top of it. That would have been fine too. But the caraway seed definitely had to be mixed in. And again, this was 2 cups of cabbage. You cannot see a thing I'm doing. There you go. So that's 2 cups of cabbage and a teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of caraway seed or mustard seed, a tablespoon of whey. And then you got your own sauerkraut. And cabbage is not very expensive, so this is, but when you buy a good fermented sauerkraut, it can cost you. I think the last time I bought a pint of sauerkraut, it was probably $5 or $6, whereas this is probably under $1. Could be a little, yeah, I don't think so. It's really, cabbage is not that expensive, and this was only, I think I had about, it was under a half a cabbage. It was over 1/4 of a cabbage, so it depends on the size of your cabbage. Now, like all ferments, I'm going around the outside of the jar now and pushing it down. And as I push, the liquid starts to come up from the bottom. This could probably even fit in a smaller jar. But the idea is to make sure the liquid covers everything. Because if any of the sauerkraut is exposed to air, you have the potential for contamination. And the way you can tell something is contaminated, it's usually pretty noticeable. It'll be like black on top. And if that happens, throw it out. Do not eat it. It's only happened to me in all the years that I've done fermentation. That's only happened to me once. I was experimenting with a broccoli recipe, and the broccoli, maybe I didn't pound it enough, I don't know, but it was, after 3 days, it was black on top. I took a picture of this, but this was years ago, so I don't still have that picture. If I do, I don't know where it is. Okay, so that pushed down to well under half a pint. So I am probably going to transfer this to a different jar. And you want it to be really packed in there. I am also going to add a little bit more whey to it, and I'm just going to pour it right in. So call that maybe 2 teaspoons or a 1/4 cup of whey. Oh yeah, that's perfect. But this jar has too much air in it, so I will be switching jars. And then this will sit out on my counter. See how pretty? This will sit out on my counter for 3 days, covered with cheesecloth, and then it'll go into the refrigerator. I like to wait about a week or so to eat it after that because I like it to be crunchy, but I also like it to be a little soft. And this is going to keep for at least a month. So give it a try. Making your own sauerkraut is super easy and really delicious. Good way to get your microbes. Enjoy. 3 days and my sauerkraut is done. Again, no discoloration on top. Looks really tasty. Smells very oniony. A little, maybe too oniony for me. Well, let's see how it tastes. Love it with the caraway seeds. It's very oniony. The caraway seeds are so good. It's good. It's just a little on the oniony side. I think next time what I'll do is cut back on the onion. But now I've got some sauerkraut, which I can put on sandwiches. I can eat on top. I can toss it on top of a salad and eat it. I can eat it out of a little bowl. Sauerkraut. You can put it on a hot dog, but don't boil it. If you're going to put your own fermented sauerkraut on anything warm, I'd say put a little bowl out and let it get up to room temperature. Or you could heat it, but don't boil it. You kill the microbes when you do that, and then you lose the benefit of all those wonderful microbes going down to your microbiome and enhancing your overall health, which is what we want. So have a lovely day and think about making your own sauerkraut. Enjoy!